Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I guess you really are the product of that which you were nourished. It seems as if there's no way to miss it. What you take in, what you're exposed to, all of that shapes, maintains you. You could have come into that having no idea of what you ought to be framed as, but prepared to take you as you are. And that's innocent and expose you to what is. And this, my friends, is a big, big problem. I listen to people talk because people express themselves in regards to what's very important to them. And if you listen, sometimes you might get a chance to get the message. But when I hear white folks talk, I hear the supremacists, the white supremacists, and uh, those, and even when you're in the church, nationalism in the church, all about that. And the things that they try to or say they want to accomplish, it comes at the expense of so much pain that others have to go through. Think about that. But not all of them are like that. There are others who have no problem with mingling with other races or people, if you want to call them that, and can uh, feel with them just like they do anybody else. Having a preference, they'd rather be around people of their ethnicity, people who are around the income situation. I guess just anybody. But other than that, yeah, they do it all the time. Black and white people living in the same apartment buildings, same neighborhood, same block. All of that happens. And then in the trailer parks, you got both, all kind of people. Those people who are, you fill in the blank. You know who lives in the trailer park. And then you got all of these various groups that got can support themselves with conversation, with philosophy, and it's genuine as you listen to them. And I'm thinking about how genuine can it be when everybody got a view, and when you look at that view, you see a mirroring of everything in one view is the same in another view. Perhaps if you're looking for how do you achieve it, you might see other things, but the outcome, what do you want? This is it. And yet, not only does the philosophy that they hold not take care of their own population, there's no way you can step outside of those borders and talk about fixing a nation or the world. And I think about that. I think about all of this. Everybody want to do their own thing. Everybody want their own power. And I'm asking, what have you accomplished when you talk about everybody want their own power? Then it's just like that today. So achieving that at a higher level is still this here. And then the thought about Russia. They say, well, Russia and the United States, they haven't gotten into it in a long while. They do these little games that they play, but they both are qualified to wipe the other one out. Doesn't matter who pushed the button first. Push the button means everything is gone for those two at least. And so that keeps the button from being pushed. And I guess all the other nations say that we need that same kind of authority. We need that same kind of power. We need that same kind of ability so we can prevent any threat just like they prevent any threat. And they all are entitled to be protected from any threats. But it seems as if there should be something different that can be done. I guess, I have to take for granted that God, the power that is responsible for our being here, is also responsible for where we are placed when we come into the world, who we come here through, and where we're at. And all of that has purpose. We perhaps don't know what it is. I can speak for myself, but having that. And for me, I was brought into a space where I saw and was exposed to philosophy that says right was right. And it didn't cut off at color. Black right, white right, this right. Right was right. And to do right, you had to be right all the time. Sometimes you mess up, but that's not your intention. And even if it is your intention, your conscience gets you come back and make sure you fix that or you don't engage yourself in something like that again. Now, I said that to say this. Some people, as I listen to exactly what black people have gone through, they don't trust people. They don't trust white people at all. They don't want to have anything to do with white people. And I can understand that. But when you start talking about fixing the problem, that is not fixing it because it's separation, it's division. And if you really want to fix it, you got to find some way to bring those two together. They happened, but it doesn't have to keep on happening. And I realize there are various ways you can deal with it, but why not deal with it what I would call the best way? Some people might say just to make me feel better now, but I'm talking about feeling better now in a long while. You see, I see myself, I'm a black man, and I know what I desire in life. But when I look at a white man, some of them, I see myself. And as a white man, I know what I desire in life as a white man. And it's no different than me being a black man. But it seems to me it's easier for me to attain that when the black me and the white me is one me. And so when I see making sure that everybody is engaged in life, one of the first things I can think of is everybody got a job. Everybody got a job, got the right. You know, our big problem is saying that some people are robbing the system. I even heard somebody talk about the other day handouts, all that kind of crazy stuff. But it's no more of a handout to do right than to have the clouds in the sky holding water, just waiting for the right time. And all of the wonderful things that happen that we got no control of. So, like, we can take things that we got control of and make them turn out beautiful as well. I realize that's nothing that we've been practicing. We've always tried to take advantage of every situation. That's what we've been taught. Take advantage of the situation for your benefit. You got to get ahead. You got to be somebody. But when you realize that everybody is somebody, like if every nation on earth got the nuclear capability and no one will push a button because it means that the whole world will go because it wouldn't stop or prevent anything from happening like that. So why do you need the threat of death over you like that to even put you in a position to make some sense? Man, look at all that stuff you wasted. Look at all that hate it took to allow that to be built and to exist. Think about all the suffering that came out of that. Because if you're still thinking about stuff like that, you're not thinking about any kind of way that can be done without causing pain and suffering to others. See, the way to cause to withhold pain and suffering to others, as far as the human race is concerned, is everybody got that job I mentioned, and you having a job that entitles you. That entitles you to basic human rights. That entitles you to life. Anything that's made by the hands of man, coming from a free God to people to utilize, to meet their needs, wants, and desires. And they do it in an abundance such that the reservoir will overflow. Not enough room to contain it. Nobody would have to suffer lack of anything. Hey, now, can another nation anywhere come up with a better plan than that? Oh, you got to work it out. But that's the plan. Can you come up with a better plan than that? That works for blacks, that works for whites, that works for Americans, and that works for everybody else. Can you come up with a better plan than that? If you can't, then what's your problem? I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this your time. Until next, this is Eddie Marcus say goodbye for now.